Today I'm doing the review to the movie Leo, starring Thalapathy Vijay, Sanjay Dutt, Trisha, Arjun, directed by Lokesh Kanagaraj and music by Anirudh. I went and watched it yesterday. Went by myself before anyone else this week go. She couldn't go because our son's only 12 years old. Movie certificate is 15 to all the people who don't know. And we haven't got no one to look after our son, babysit him or anything. Our daughters are all at university and not nearby. So one of us has to stay at home. What I loved was at the cinema, I got to sit in a recliner seat. There was only probably about 15, 20 people in the cinema. It wasn't packed out. With Leo, my expectations were so high when I went. Obviously, I have seen Kati, I've seen, Vikram. I'm not going to do any spoilers before I carry on. There's not going to be any spoilers. Let me start with, I watched the Tamil language version of it, so the original language. I didn't watch the Hindi dubbed, so that in itself for me was a totally different experience at the cinema. It's my first movie at the cinema in Tamil language I'm watching. Usually I end up watching it at home, but yeah, it's the first time, so it's always going to be I'm going to remember it. And it was my first Lokesh Kanagaraj movie that I watched at the cinema. I have seen his films at home, so that's going to be one of my first. And definitely one of the biggest firsts for me was it was the first Vijay film I watched ever, forever kind of thing. Is my first Vijay film. I've seen clips of Master, but I haven't seen a full movie of Vijay's, and I'm sort of so glad that I ended up watching this one, because if there's anything that I loved more than anything about this movie, it would be Vijay. I think his performance was just amazing. He himself, I would watch it again just to watch him. So that's my first take. You can see how he performs as an older character with a family, but you can also see him how he performs as a younger character in this movie. The energy that he brings. There's scenes in there that you just watch him and your mind is just blown. My best take of this movie was seeing Vijay. And the way that he performed. And not just Vijay, I think so many of the other characters that were in there also performed great. Trisha was great. I love their chemistry. I've not seen her perform before. And seeing them both together and their relationship, everything was beautiful. Him with his children in there. The first half of it, I enjoyed. I really enjoyed. I loved the pace of the movie. I loved how they developed the characters. I loved how we got to know them, got to have an idea of who they are, what they're like, what they do, and how they live, and it was like building this world of theirs that we're a part of now, but at the same time showing us glimpses of other things that were coming to change everything kind of thing. And that's what was happening. It was like slowly coming in, and when it was coming in, it was like, wow, this is great. But there was something in the back of my head whilst I was watching the first half. Even though I was enjoying it, the pace is a bit slow in the first half. I'm not saying it's boring or dull, but the pace is slow, and I don't mind slow pace in movies. I think Vikram had something similar. But with obviously Lokesh's films, you know that there's going to be action sequences, there's going to be, thrill, there's going to be entertainment. It's like going, are you giving it enough room for all that to happen? Because in the first half, it was like building. There were certain characters that weren't in the first half that I sort of expected. There were certain things that I thought would start to happen that didn't come until the second half. There's action scenes in the first half. Very good, honestly. It sort of starts it off kind of thing. You'll see it's the major action scene that happens. It starts the ball rolling. And when that ball starts rolling, I just went, this is just awesome. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Vijay's, how he created that character to do what he was doing in this action sequence. It was, wow. And I just, in my mind was, this is just the beginning. So there's more to come. So much to look forward to. And this is what they've started with. Then I just can't imagine what's going to come. So the action scenes I did enjoy. When the second half came, I felt like it was rushed. I felt like it wasn't like the first. I felt like because he'd given so much, this could have been a 4-hour film, to be honest. I feel like the character developments of everyone else who came after that wasn't good as the first half. It wasn't even done enough. Sanjay Dutt, I like Sanjay Dutt before anyone thinks anything. I think the guy is very good and he's great at playing bad guy roles and all that. I think his character itself was very good, very thought of who he is, why he is the way he is, why he's doing what he does. But I don't think they built on it so much. I think they could have made this character, him, even more larger than life. And I think they rushed on it. Basically, there was flashbacks in the movie regarding Leo and his past. I think that was rushed. There was cameos in the movie that basically, came and everyone was like, wow, this is amazing. There was people that I recognised, and I'm not going to say, again, I'm not spoiling. And then all of a sudden, they were gone. And I was like, then why did we have them? There was no development of their characters. There was no need or reason to have them. And I just felt like there's so many people that they brought in that were recognisable but not used. And I just didn't understand why. And obviously Arjun and Sanjay Dutt's characters, I felt like they weren't fully developed. I didn't get time to know them. I didn't get time to understand them. I didn't get time to like them or dislike them. I just felt like they were so rushed. They were just like basically there at one point and then let's just get on kind of thing. I wanted more. A lot more. Basically, things happening in the first half, and there was characters in there that would be saying something, that they're going to do something, or I'm not going to be happy about this, and I'm going to make sure this happens, and then they were not shown again at all. I understand if it was going to be for something else that was bigger, I was going to come back in the second half, but there were so many loopholes. And I don't know if you guys watch it, you'll see what I mean, and you're just like going, where did that come and where did that come back? Like, why didn't that come back? Why is it open? Where did that person go? What was the meaning of it? And if it wasn't needed, then why have it in there? There was no requirement. They could have used that time to develop these other characters that came in the second half, which we want to know more about. There was storylines in the second half that quickly came and quickly went. And I would love to have them bigger. There's a fair few characters in there that I wanted to know more about. I wanted to get to know them, their side of the story, and get to like them or dislike them before whatever was going to happen. And it was just in, out. And then just this repetitive question that keeps on getting asked. And you just got to wait for the answer to. And that's what I sort of felt. Action sequences, I enjoyed. The action sequence was great. But there was one problem. I don't know if everyone else is going to have it. But at our cinema, the action sequences were cut. So have a look at yours. Ours was 15 certificate. But I felt like so many were actually cut. Music, obviously, Anirudh. I love, is it Unvenom? We done the reaction to it. Beautiful song. Beautiful. I like, badass. Not Ready was good. It showed the energy of Vijay in there. If I'm now talking about, I don't know if people have mentioned, so many people have said that it was based on history of violence. And to just without giving a spoiler, right before the movie even starts, Lokesh more or less sort of covers that it's based on it kind of thing. It's a retelling of history of violence, so that isn't giving anything away. But I did feel like it was like history of violence meet with Amitabh Bachchan's Hum. That. I don't know if anyone else will feel like that, but it felt like those two together, history of violence with Hum. Here you go. So the CGI, like I said, I don't think it was required for many things, and what it was used for, it wasn't needed for. I would have preferred him to just have been practical and use real stuff kind of thing, like he's done before. And if he was going to use it, then but it doesn't ruin the film for you, to be honest. but it does make you like, oh, that's CGI. That's CGI. Was it required? No. Why have it? Would he have changed the story, or would he have made the film better by having it? No. And I think that's where CGI and VFX, if it's going to make a movie better or look better, then have it. If it's just there to fill because you couldn't get the things, I just feel like sometimes then don't have it at all. I don't think people would have missed it if it wasn't in there. But like I said, it doesn't ruin the film. Is it part of the LCU? That's one thing everyone always wanted to know before we went to see it. I wanted to know. I'm not going to tell you guys because that'll just spoil it. So I'm just going to stick to the non-spoiler. I'm not going to tell you. Go and watch it for yourself and you'll find out. If I go to Lokesh Kanagaraj, I've seen his Gati, I've seen his Vikram. I have to honestly agree that I prefer them both. I enjoyed them two a lot more, as in the storytelling and the visual, like what he had created. This wasn't Lokesh's best work, as in storytelling. I'm not saying like in the directing sense, but in the storytelling and the screenplay, I think I enjoyed the other ones a lot more. I don't know how you guys will feel or think about it, but again, I think because my expectations were so high that I went in there with that, and then I was like a bit like, okay, Vijay's outstanding. This is great. That's great. Only if this was, better. It could have been better. That's what I'm basically saying. Overall, yeah, I did enjoy it. If I was going to give it a rating, probably about 3.5, 3.5, I would say. And that's it. Like I said, my first Vijay film, so it was still a winner, and my first Tamil film, language film in the cinema. So in that sense, I would still give it a thumbs up kind of thing. So I can't compare. But if I watch other Vijay films, then obviously I'll say. But I'm only comparing to other Lokesh Kanagaraj movies. And I think I enjoyed the other two that I watched a lot more because it was unexpected for me. But that's it. That's my review. Like I said, share below if you guys have seen it. Do you agree, disagree? Hopefully, I see you guys on the next one.